Welcome back. It's the Hammer Draft Series here on the Forward Progress YouTube channel, part of the Hammer Betting Network and presented by Fanduel. Today we're going to be looking at the Offensive Player of the Year market. And if this is your first time here in the video, I'll break down exactly what this draft series is all about. Before we get into that, got to introduce myself here, Jason Cabrera, the host. And I got three great guests alongside me today. Rob Pizzola, George, G-Stack George, and of course, the Hitman, who's making his long-awaited return on the Forward Progress YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, here's how this contest is going to work. There's 4 of us, 6 rounds, 24 players each will be drafted. And what we're going to do is we're going to wager $250 for each creator. That's a $1,000 total pot. And whoever wins gets all the money. But now you're probably thinking to yourself, what happens if one of the 24 players doesn't win? Well, a little bit of fun for you guys. The audience, 4 members, will get $250 each from a lucky draw. All you have to do to enter that contest is just like the video, comment on the video. You must also be subscribed to us here on Forward Progress and then follow us on X as well. And listen, if you're going to do that for any of the videos, it's going to be this one, Offensive Player of the Year. It has by far the biggest field compared to any of the other videos. So if you guys are going to win one, this is most likely the one that will be it. So drop your comments, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and let's get right into things. We did the randomization before because I realized in previous videos I was giving away my IP address. Apparently that's not a good thing after I did some Googling. So the draft order will go as follows. Hitman is first, George is second, Rob is third, and I am fourth. Hitman, we're starting with the Offensive Player of the Year. We're starting with you, the 101. Who do you have and why?
Who's the favorite right now, Jason? Number 1 to go?
Saquon. It's got to be Saquon, yeah.
Wrong guy favored. We are going to go with Jamar Chase. There's 3 reasons for this pick. 1, Jamar Chase is obviously a hell of a player. And once again, he's in a really good situation as far as the Bengals are going to have a bad defense yet again. Probably a lot of opportunities for a lot more shootouts similar to last year and some counting stats. Number 2, there's just been a little bit of talk from the Eagles early about Saquon Barkley, about managing his workload. Like, obviously, he's going to be their workhorse, but maybe they ease it back a little bit more with now that they have A.J. Dillon, they have Will Shipley. And some of these blowouts, maybe they don't try to get him the counting stats, don't go for 2,000 yards, stuff like that. And the third reason is just voter fatigue. It's going to take an incredible year from Saquon Barkley. Like, it might take him matching last year's production just to overcome that voter fatigue. And that's obviously going to be a very tall task to be the only running back in NFL history to have back-to-back 2,000-yard seasons. The tush push is still around, which is going to hurt his counting stats for rushing touchdowns unless he just keeps breaking off 70, 80-yard touchdowns like he did last year. Wrong guy favored, Jamar Chase, first pick.
Wow. Hashtag wrong guy favored. Jamar Chase right now, plus 900 on FanDuel. Saquon Barkley far and away the big favorite at plus 550 on the board. Tons of guys available, though. Second pick. George, it's up to you next. Hitman, are you taking Tua or Tyreek?
You spent more time telling us who you're not taking and all the reasons why than who you did take and all the reasons why, but you've convinced me. I'm off the Saquon train. I believe in that 400 touches regression stat that everybody faces. I am going to look at running back, and I think one of the things with this award is you usually need to rack up some touchdowns. He does everything very well, and he always gets vultured at the goal line. But I think this is the year that the Lions are finally going to let Jahmyr Gibbs become the best running back.
All right, going with Jahmyr Gibbs after the Lions significantly downgrade on their offensive line. Interesting choice there. George, Rob, up next, who you got?
I actually like both of those picks in the early going, which I hate to say because I can't stand either of these guys, George or Hitman. But both good picks. At this point, I kind of agree with Hitman that Chase should be the betting favorite here. I say that it's a very liquid market, and he's not. But I am going to take Saquon now. I think at this point, third overall pick, I can justify it. Put up some pretty gaudy stats in that offense behind that offensive line. you look at the defenses within the division, especially on the Cowboys side, Commanders side, big numbers in those types of games. I do agree with the voter fatigue. I understand all the reasons that you wouldn't want to necessarily bet Saquon at, plus 550, 6-1 range type of situation. But as the number 3 pick in the draft, I think this is a good time to take him. So I'm going with Saquon Barkley.
All right, Saquon Barkley off the board, Jamar Chase off the board, Jahmyr Gibbs off the board. I feel like that's kind of the cabal of the favorites, but it's my pick now, and I feel like you guys are really missing out on one guy. I know he might be a little bit injured here in training camp, but I don't care about training camp. We're still over a month away from the season. So obviously you guys are going to let me take Justin Jefferson. I will happily take the best wide receiver in the NFL to win Offensive Player of the Year. Listen, even if J.J. McCarthy isn't that great of a quarterback, I think there's a floor there from Kevin O'Connell. And, I mean, Joe A's a smart guy. Who's their backup? Yeah, you guys know.
Yeah. Definitely betting on the floor when it comes to to Offensive Player of the Year. Certainly we'll take the guy with the high floor.
Not even a high floor. We just know everything there is to say. Like, what else is there to say about Justin Jefferson? And, like, again, if things go wrong with McCarthy, Sma Howell is there to keep things afloat. And for the Minnesota Vikings there. That wraps up round 1, though. Up next, round 2. I didn't know I was going to get this spot. It's got me thinking a little bit. And, I mean, there's a couple players I can take. There's Derrick Henry, great player. Bijan Robinson, great player. Is this the year he breaks out, finally gets it? Puka Nacua, great player. But I'm going to go with the guy who I put 4th in my wide receiver rankings. I'm going to go with Nico Collins. I truly believe that a lot of people thought C.J. Stroud was the guy running this offense. And don't get me wrong, he's a great quarterback. But it's been evident now over the past couple of seasons when Nico Collins is hurt, this Houston offense is nothing like it is when he's healthy. I really think Nico Collins is the driver of this offense. He has big splash playability. I mean, he's an uber talented receiver. Everything there is to like about him, he's great. I mean, 16-1 right now on Fanduel. I love Nico Collins here. Put him down for me as the first pick in the second round. Nico Collins for me. So, yeah. Rob, up next.
I like that pick. Really wanted Nico Collins. All right, I'll stick. I'll turn myself into team running back here. I'm going to go with Bijan.
All right.
I'm looking for players with high ceiling, not high floor. I think Bijan has an incredibly high ceiling in that offense this year. Obviously, Michael Penix taking over, big unknown. I think especially earlier in the year, work the running back more into the plays, especially in the passing offense. I like that offense's ability to put up numbers this season. So pretty dynamic player, obviously. Anyone who's watched him play, you got to worry a little bit about Tyler Algier vulturing some snaps here and there. But overall, I still think Bijan could put up some massive numbers in this offense. So that's where I'm going.
All right, Bijan Robinson off the board. George, you're up next. You started off with Jahmyr Gibbs. You gonna go running back again, or you got a wide receiver in mind?
No, I really wanted Nico Collins, but my backup pick is I like CeeDee Lamb this year. I liked him to be the target pick, more familiarity. I know George Pickens is in the offense now, but I could see a lot of action get filtered through CeeDee, and I don't like their running game, and I have a feeling that they're going to have to get into a lot of shootouts to win this year. So I could see Dak airing it out and Lamb getting a lot of that.
All right, CeeDee Lamb for George. Last pick of the second round here, Hitman. You went Jamar Chase. You were hashtag team not a running back. Are you going to continue that trend or go with a running back here?
I'm going to go with Derrick Henry. And I'm kind of reluctantly going to do it, kind of like Rob was with Barkley. It's just that at this point in the draft, to have the star skill position player on what I have rated as the best team in the NFL right now, and a guy that has just proven to not be human throughout his entire career. The guy just gets crazy touch amounts that other running backs can't sustain that workload. And Derrick Henry's, for whatever reason, he's not human. His training regimen is just that much better than everyone else, but he's just continued to do it year in and year out. So I'm going to go with Derrick Henry.
All right, Derrick Henry and Hitman, that's your number 1 power rated team, the Ravens. Hold on, I'm just getting a call right now. It turns out Steve Fezzik also has the Ravens as their number 1 power rated team for him. Let's run through the draft right now and go recap the first 2 rounds before we head into the second round. Hitman, You have Jamar Chase, Derrick Henry. George, you have Jahmyr Gibbs and CeeDee Lamb. Rob, you have Saquon and Bijan. And then I have Justin Jefferson and Nico Collins. Quickly, before we get into the third round, I want everyone to comment down below. Who has the best start to the draft? Whose team would you rather pick right now? If we were only going with 2 players each, who do you think has the best chance to win the Offensive Player of the Year? Whose team is the best? Let's hear it. Yeah, drop my name in the comment section. That's it. Before we get into the next round, just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors over at Fanduel. It might be the offseason, but if you want to bet on NFL futures, Fanduel is the place to go for that action. They have tons of futures at FanDuel Sportsbook, including player award props like MVP, season leaders in passing, rushing, and receiving, season-long receiving props, rushing props, passing props, and so much more. They also have team futures. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Who's going to win their respective conference, their division? At what stage will each team be eliminated? They also have win totals, including alt win totals. And guess what? You can parlay them all together. The excitement for something new goes live at FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com/forward progress to download America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel.com/forward progress. That's it. All right. Hitman, started the third round. You're up next. Who you got and why?
Christian McCaffrey. I still think that he's an unbelievable player. I think he's in an unbelievable scheme. He has an unbelievably easy schedule of opposing defenses that he's going to be facing this year. And he's on a 49ers team that is absolutely decimated with wide receiver questions at this current moment. So, Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey. You can find him 20-1 on FanDuel if you really like it. Rob, you wanted to chime in here? You seem a little pissed.
I think like I figured because Hitman's been playing like 48 rounds of golf every week. I didn't think he was putting in some NFL research these days, but yeah, he's got a strong team so far. He's got a strong team. It pains me. I want him to make some shit picks so I can make fun of him.
Yeah, that's all right. That's what George is here for. Anyways, I think you missed today. He had one more round, so that makes it 49 rounds for Hitman. All right. Up next, George. You went Gibbs, you went Lamb for the second pick of the third round. Tell us who you got.
I keep hearing you guys saying I have to take this person like you're a slave to what the odds boards say. It's awful. I don't want Saquon. I don't want Henry. I want youth. Give me Malik Neighbors. I'll go a little bit lower on the board. I want the target pick. I want, you know how many receivers in their second year had the massive blow up and Jefferson won Offensive Player of the Year in his second year? I'm going to bet on the Malik Neighbors show.
If there was ever a guy that you want to bet on, it's Russell Wilson throwing you the ball at this point in his career.
Moon ball, baby, to the moon.
Oh, yeah. That deep ball that Russ has these days looks like Jason Cooper throwing the deep ball, basically.
I actually have a pretty nasty deep ball.
I'm sure you don't.
I'm sure you don't.
All right. Well, if anything matters here, George, I actually really like that pick. Was a little bothered. Thought maybe he would fall to me. Your buddy Tyreek Hill, by the way, is sitting right there, who you claim to be the third best wide receiver in the NFL, but you're not willing to take him ahead of Malik Neighbors.
I didn't say
fourth
that.
best. Sorry, fourth best.
I don't think I said that either.
All right, never mind. Stricken from the record. All right, Rob. Who you got next?
Yeah, I'm just stalling at this point. That's why I was making fun of you a little bit because I have no clue who I'm going to take here. Like George said, I don't want to be a slave to the odds board. I've already made fun of Lions fans a lot this year. I don't know that I want more Lions exposure at this point. Oh man, tough one, real tough one. All right, I'm gonna start making some real shit picks and giving the viewers what they want so they have a better chance to win. And I'm just going to go purely with players that I like at this point. I'm going to go with Brian Thomas Jr. I think it's a year too early for him maybe in this type of award market, but I'm generally high on Jacksonville relative to market at this point. I don't really know what Trevor Lawrence is, but again, I'm looking for high ceiling. I think that potentially they have that. We'll see what Travis Hunter snaps end up looking like in the regular season relative to what's going on in training camp right now. But I think Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be the focal point of that offense. So I'll take him here in the third round.
All right, Rob takes Brian Thomas Jr. Great pick in the third round. That leads me to my pick. Rob, you said you don't know what Trevor Lawrence is. I think I know who he is. He's Jared Goff. Speaking of Jared Goff, you guys left. Am I reading this? You guys left Amon-Ra St. Brown on the board. Are we being serious right now? You're letting him fall all the way to me at the end of the third round? Give me Amon-Ra St. Brown. Listen, I know that Ben Johnson is gone, and this could be a disaster for the team if if he's as good as advertised, and who knows, maybe the wheels fall off for the Detroit Lions this year. But if that does happen, then my Chicago Bears are doing fantastic. So I can live with that. If it doesn't happen though, and this offense is as good as it was last year, how can you not take Amon-Ra St. Brown in this position? He's a great receiver, can do it all. I mean, give me Amon-Ra St. Brown, pure target hog on that offense.
I don't know. I saw some reports about Jamison Williams looking really nice this year. I think that ball's going to get spread a little bit more this year.
For sure. It's what, July 28th? Early in training camp, George. Everybody looks good.
I'm an optimist.
Everybody looks good.
God, I love picking after Jason, honestly. It's really good to be in this spot.
All right.
He's got one more.
Yeah.
Do you guys? Yeah, I got one more in me.
Sure,
do you guys know
another solid pick.
Do you guys know what school Amon-Ra St. Brown went to?
USC.
University of Southern California.
The next
There you
receiver
go.
you're going to take comes from there, too.
There you go.
Drake
How did
London
you
off
know?
the board.
Drake London off the board. Yes, sir. Today on Twitter, I actually posted. We the Hammer released their wide receiver rankings, and there was a wide receiver not on that list that I feel like should have been on that list, and his name is Drake London. I went in the comment section. I said, by this time next year, people will have this guy's name in the top 10. I'm high on this offense. If Michael Penix Jr. can take a step forward, be as good as he looked in those last 3 games last year, I really think there's an upside case to this offense. And who will the ball go to other than Bijan Robinson? In the air, it's got to be Drake London. So for that reason, I feel like the ceiling is high for Drake London. He also went to USC, which is a big factor in my decision-making so far. So Drake London, throw him on my team.
All right.
You're not going to say that was a good pick. You're supposed to say that after every pick we had.
Honestly, I kind of like it. It was
Okay,
definitely in consideration at this point.
Rob is agreeing to that contract that we signed. Good.
I want to leave these Dolphins for George because he's absolutely going to scoop them, and they have no chance of winning this award. So I will leave those guys behind. Don't know that I want to double up on Eagles here. Let's go down the board and continue with players that I really like, and nothing gets me more excited. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. We had a very reliable tight end for many years, Jason Witten. I see a little bit of Brock Bowers. My guy.
Is that your pick?
Oh, of course it is. I mean, this is who's winning the award this year. It's the Geno to Brock connection. Geno Smith indoors. Let this man cook. Let him cook. Brock Bowers is going to get, mark my words, 1,000 targets this year. 1,000 targets for Brock Bowers.
I love it. 1,000 targets for Brock Bowers. Remind me again, how many tight ends have previously won this award?
You know what? The tight end now, the positions are changing, Jason.
You'd probably agree that, like, for a tight end, they would theoretically, they're not going to get the yards of like a receiver, so they would need touchdowns, correct, Rob?
Yes.
And the red zone quarterback for the Raiders is Geno Smith, correct?
Okay. Before we get on, I know where you're going with this, so I'm going to cut you off because you don't need to finish. I actually think that, like, legitimate Bowers last year, well, he had like 110 catches. I don't have the exact number. It was something like that. It was absurd. They are upgrading massively at quarterback. I'm not the biggest Geno stan, but like 130 to 140 catches is not out of the question. He is such an amazing threat. Like, he is uncoverable at this point. Yes, he's got to improve on the touchdowns, but he only had 5 last year. I mean, there's only one way to go. It's up. It's just like your football picks, Hitman. There's only one way to go. It's up.
All right.
All right. That's, you know what, Hitman, I appreciate the shade you're throwing out there to Rob. It makes me feel really happy. George, get ready to get shaded for your Tyreek Hill, Devon A-Chain pick. Who you got going?
I'm surprised Puka Nacua was not taken. In his rookie year as a 5th round pick, got 160 targets. That's like 10 targets a game. 11 games last year, he still got 110 targets. They love this guy.
Yeah.
If he gets another 160, 170 targets and 135 balls, this guy's, I can't believe I got him in this round. Did you guys not see
I honestly
him?
thought he was picked. I thought he was
I was
picked.
going to pick him next.
I saw him, but the problem is that you're going to get some Jimmy G. Matt Stafford back injuries already ain't going to be good. If there's one thing I know about Jimmy G, he absolutely hates his wide receivers. The target share will be. I'm not saying it's a bad pick. Like at this point, it's obviously a good pick.
I'm not gonna lie. We put out our top 10 consensus receivers, and Puka was number 4, which shocked me. I didn't have him that high, so I don't know who was picking him top 5 because it clearly wasn't anyone in this room right now.
No, he's a great receiver, but when Jimmy G's in there, Tyler Higbee is going to be the new Puka Nacua.
I had no Rams equity up until today, and I got a little bit with some Puka Nacua. That's my first bit of Rams equity this year.
Yeah, and I won't lie. I spent the last 2 minutes just covering up that I forgot that he wasn't.
Jason is so.
I'm spinning too many plates here, trying to host, trying to produce, trying to keep track of the list. And I look at I had Rob having Chase instead of Saquon, and I didn't write down Puka Nacua. It's all on me. I didn't track it properly. It's all on me. I would have. Listen, I love Amon-Ra St. Brown and Drake. I would have happily taken Puka Nacua like way ahead of both.
I was stunned. I was stunned.
Brock Bowers over Puka Nacua has got to be the worst pick in the history of this series.
That one is like,
yeah.
I don't know if it was my speech about looking down the odds board.
Yeah,
but scrolled down too far. You're
the
last guy on the list.
The Malik neighbors threw me off. I think that's what it really was. Anyways, Hitman, you have 2 picks back to get back. Give us your first pick here to close out the 4th round.
Let's go with Ladd McConkey. I am concerned about his ability to stay healthy. Going back to Georgia, he has been extremely injury prone, and let's face it, his stature doesn't. He looks like Rob Pizzola out there, except he runs like a 4.5, and Rob probably in his prime ran like a 7.7.
4.4 right here.
With that said, I could just theoretically there's not many other pass game weapons for the Chargers. It obviously is attached to a great quarterback. I could just maybe theoretically see a world where if he does stay healthy the entire season, he becomes a Cooper Kupp-esque player and has that connection with Justin Herbert. So I'm going to go with him. And then for the next pick, I'm going to shake things up here. I know the talk about this award is that a quarterback can't win it. But Lamar Jackson finished 2nd last year, and Joe Burrow, I believe, finished 4th last year. I'm going to say, let's go Joe Burrow, because if he has another statistical season similar to last year, but once again, it's this terrible organization and this terrible defense that holds them back from getting the necessary votes to win MVP. Like, let's say they go 9-8, 10-7, something like that, which probably isn't enough to win MVP. I could theoretically see a world where the voters say, you know what, he's had 2 unbelievable statistical years in a row. Let's reward him at least with an offensive player of the year. So at this point in the draft, I'll switch it up and we'll go with a quarterback.
Should we lock in T. Higgins for you now as well for the final pick?
I will not be taking T. Higgins.
Okay. All right. Quickly, before we finish off the 5th round here, I just want to give a quick recap on the picks. Hitman, I told you only do 1 pick, but of course you broke the rules. You don't like that doesn't matter. So Hitman's going to have 5 players because he bled into the 5th round. But anyways, Hitman has Jamar Chase, Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, Ladd McConkey, and Joe Burrow. George, you have Jahmyr Gibbs, CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, and Puka Nacua. Great pick, not going to lie. I like George's team. I hate to say it, but I like George's team. Rob, you have Saquon, Bijan, Brian Thomas Jr., Brock Bowers, and it seems like you're donating $250. Myself, I have Justin Jefferson, Nico Collins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Drake London. George, you're up next. I hate your team because I love it. Who you got?
I actually really like that Joe Burrow look. I mean, if he breaks the passing record for yards in the season or touchdowns, it's going to be hard to deny him if they're like a 9-10 win team. That being said, I'm going to say, you know what? Joe Burrow is a very good quarterback, and Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones are not very good quarterbacks. I could see Shane Steichen dialing up 350 carries for Jonathan Taylor this year, and I'm hoping he gets everything at the goal line. Especially if there's no vulture like Richardson to take the touchdowns, I could see Taylor having a big year.
Yeah, you're if Richardson's not in, you're going to be fading Vanilla Vic at the goal line. Are you sure you want to do that?
Oh yeah, I'm very sure that Daniel Jones doesn't scare me.
All right, fair enough. But what does scare me with that offense is getting to the goal line. That's a whole nother process. Rob, you're up next.
Yep. I fear if I don't take this guy that you will, Jason, and I won't get him on the way back. So I'm just going to get it out of the way now and take Jackson Smith and Jigba because he's another player that I like since his college days, and also showed signs of the breakout last. I mean, it was a full-fledged breakout last year. I am certainly see the reasons not to take him. I'm not a Sam Darnold truther like a lot of people are, but I think adding Cooper Kupp to that offense actually will open things up a little bit more for JSN. Kupp to me is not somebody that's going to vulture a bunch of stuff at this point in his career, so I'm not overly worried about that. But I think just based off of who we have available to us right now, again, I think he's another high ceiling guy that I'm going to go with here.
All right, love that JSN pick, my guy Sam Darnold. That was going to be my next pick right there. We're sticking to the USC theme.
No shit.
I need to filibuster here because I have no freaking clue who I'm going to take. All right, well,
way to give the people confidence in your team and your pick.
Listen, we're in the last couple rounds here. We're in the last two rounds, last two picks for me, and
don't cut it off either. Just hit the fast forward. I want to see the people so they could see your process of not knowing.
No. We're cutting off that 3 minutes that it took me to think about this, and it's crazy because I have two picks. I only thought about one, but one of the picks I'm going with to end out the fifth round. I'm just gonna bet on talent over everything else, and I'm just gonna bet on Bucky Irving. I really like the way he looked last year. He just looks like a good running back to me. Listen, Liam Cohen's not there. Maybe things don't look as good without him as the offensive coordinator, but love the way he looked running the football. At this point, we're kind of just shooting. What's the opposite of shooting fish in a barrel? I don't know. Whatever the opposite of that is, but. You guys know what I'm trying to say here. Shooting blanks, maybe that's the better one.
You definitely shot blanks.
There we go. Listen, I've never been known to be good with these sayings. Anyways, up next is I see Tyreek Hill left on the board, but I want to be nice to like the forward progress audience. I want them to have Tyreek Hill. I want them to have a chance at the offensive player of the year. So I'm going to take a guy who I think has the potential to have a breakout season. I got to take Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm not overly high on the Arizona Cardinals, but, I mean, he has the draft pedigree. He has the talent. I just see him as a guy who maybe has a little bit of a higher upside than what he looked like last year. Maybe don't want to call it a bounce back, but like a coming out party for Marvin Harrison Jr. this year. That's all I got. That's my guy, and that rounds up my team. Rob, who you got?
All right, I'm not going to be nice to our audience because I don't really want to give my money to them. I would rather collect money, and I actually think Tyreek Hill has a decent chance of winning Offensive Player of the Year. So I opened up Twitter today. I saw Tyreek running downfield, catching a ball that was 7 yards underthrown by Tua. He actually even false started on the play, but since it was like a scrimmage or whatever, it didn't get called. But either way, I mean, at this point, I'm getting a guy that's had two 1,700-yard seasons in the last 3 years. I understand what he's coming off last year. I understand what his age curve looks like right now. But we've seen this guy put up massive numbers. I still believe in the Dolphins' offense. I mean, not the offensive line necessarily, but this is an offense built to get the ball out of Tua's hands quickly. Tyreek can turn those into big plays. I think in the sixth round, I like that quite a bit. So I'm going to go Tyreek Hill and say F you to the loyal Forward Progress listeners.
You might have been saving him there. Listen, Tyreek Hill looked great in training camp. If only he could play against the Dolphins secondary every single week, then maybe he would rip off those plays every single week. George, you're up next. Last pick of the draft. Who you got here?
I am going to go with the last guy on the board that could be a bell cow. He's a rookie. And I say, you know what? Why not? Why not go for Ashton Genty? Maybe Pete Carroll's going to run him into the ground and steal all those Brock Bowers touchdowns from Rob Zola.
The fact that we drafted two Raiders has got to be one of the more insane things that I've ever seen.
I'm way higher on the Raiders offense than a lot of people.
I like them, and I saw, and I'm gonna tell you a story. In a keeper league, I drafted Christian McCaffrey in training camp, juked Luke Kuechly out of his shoes, and I said, I want this guy for the next 10 years. I saw Genty run like a stop and go and just blew the defender apart and caught the ball. And I go, just because he didn't catch the ball in Boise State doesn't mean he doesn't have that part of his game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anything else you want to tell us about your fantasy team, George?
It's pretty good.
When Geno signed with the Raiders, who did the video here on Forward Progress saying they didn't really love that signing?
Was it you?
Was it me or was it Hitman? I don't recall.
It might have been. I don't know.
No.
Who did the Geno video?
I don't remember that. That's too far back.
I'm pretty sure it was me. So I have to cover all my bases now. You see what I'm getting at here?
Yeah,
This is the key to doing content nowadays. You
Both
make
sides.
two different takes at different points in time, and you can never be wrong. That's why I'm high on the Raiders offense right now.
Go Raiders. Go Raiders.
All right, Hitman, who have you been fading this summer so you can kind of come back with this 6 pick and say, hey, you know what, guys, all those times I said I was low on this team, I was actually super high. You can see in the Hammer Draft Series. So for your last pick, who you got and why?
I'm just going to say before I make this pick, if anybody wants side action on like who has the best team here, like DMs are open because I can't believe that you guys let me get. We talk about voter fatigue and everything. You guys let me get the guys that finished 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th last year. And the guy that finished 2nd, who I'm picking next, is Lamar Jackson. Yeah. Again, the narrative out there, quarterback can't win. Lamar Jackson won MVP and finished 2nd in Offensive Player of the Year. I think that right now, I don't believe that he's the best quarterback in the NFL, but I think like from a statistical standpoint and like quarterback to win Offensive Player of the Year, put up ridiculous stats, maybe 1,000 rushing yards, a crazy touchdown to interception ratio. Lamar Jackson's that guy right now. And I could see that if the voter fatigue on not giving him MVP happens this year and he has a crazy performance like he did last year, they give him that Offensive Player of the Year. So I love my team. Lamar Jackson.
All right, that rounds out the draft,
sure.
right?
Fatigued of Hitman's shit takes, I'll tell you that.
We left a lot of good players for. I mean, we took.
I can't wait till a quarterback wins and it's Josh Allen or Jaden Daniels, so that the audience knows it's not Hitman's
quarterbacks, rookie running backs. We left a lot of good.
We left AJ Brown, I think. I'm pretty sure AJ Brown.
Yeah, but that guy's cheeks. We can skip over.
Devon Achane. Right. Oh man, there's some bangers that didn't get drafted.
Yep.
Yeah. Tons of players available. Obviously, this is the deepest board. We're going to bring up on the screen right now is our draft board. 24 players. And a reminder, if you guys drop a comment down below who you think is going to win. And if neither of those guys win, guess what? You have a chance to win. Just comment, like the video, subscribe, and follow us on Twitter to be entered for a chance to win $250. Going to run through every single team right now. Hitman, you have Jamar Chase, Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, Lab McConkey, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson. George, you have Jahmyr Gibbs, CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Puka Nacua, Jonathan Taylor, and Ashton Gene T. Rob. You have Saquon Barkley, Bijan Robinson, Brian Thomas Jr., Brock Bowers, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Tyreek Hill. And then myself, I went with Justin Jefferson, Nico Collins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Drake London, Bucky Irving, and last pick was Marvin Harrison Jr. That wraps it up, guys. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We're going to have another video coming out next week on Tuesday. So make sure you're subscribed and turn on that notification bell to be notified right when that releases. We'll see you guys in the next one.